Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. In today's episode, we are going to be taking on our next dungeon, the City in the Sky. Now, this isn't the most traditional dungeon in Zelda universe. I mean, it's an actual city you're exploring. Yeah, this dungeon is broken up. It's probably the biggest dungeon in the entire game, based on floors, because there's a lot of layering to this dungeon. You have to explore many different aspects and nooks and crannies in this dungeon to collect all the items that you need to get in order to advance in this dungeon. You also are battling the element of wind in this dungeon. Wind is going to be blowing consistently via the wind in the sky, giant fans in the rooms, and you're going to have to be using, iron boots to traverse through windy areas to kind of navigate through things, or using claw shots to grapple your way across the wind area. But there's also the element of falling into the void. It's quite frequent because you're up high in the sky that there's going to be a lot of times where you're going to fall through the sky, or you're just going to fall into a void, and you're going to void out and lose a little bit of hearts. This includes like falling blocks and whatnot, and the grapple points that start to crumble away whenever you're on the grapple point. One thing in particular I will say, this dungeon, the claw shot's your best friend in this dungeon, and that'll be very much apparent later on in the dungeon. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So with that, let's get on with the next episode. And welcome back, everybody, to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. In the last episode, we had to do a couple side quests with the the Sky characters, trying to find the Sky characters, and we completed the Sky characters in the book, and we found a way to the City in the Sky, which is our next major dungeon. This dungeon's very kind of a lengthy dungeon, I'm going to be honest with you. This dungeon in particular has a lot of wind elements to it, as you guys could probably tell with a floating city in the sky. Right here we landed in this pool, and if you go ahead and just turn on your iron boots, there's a couple of treasure chests right here automatically when you get in here. I mean, if you want to turn on your Zora armor, you can. I don't really care too much. I'm not going to be in here very much. One chest has 20 rupees in it, and I think the other chest has a couple water bombs, if I remember correctly. This dungeon, I don't have the best practice with, because I don't get to play this dungeon very much, I guess I could say. And it's not as straightforward as the other dungeons. This is not as confusing as I would say the Lake Bed Temple would be, but it's kind of confusing on where to go. Like I said, you land right here in this kind of like reflection pool, and if you look at your map, if you look at the map here, you have a way you can go up north, and you can go south, or you can go to the east. South right here leads right back to the cannon that we used to get here in the first place. So if you need to go back for whatever reason back to the surface world, that's how you're going to do it. But if you go over here to the room over to the east, get Venom Babas here. If I could... get off of me. You stupid thing. The wind... It constantly blows wind, too. That's another thing that's bothering. It's kind of bothersome. I will say, my voice sounds a little crackly. I'm just recovering from a cold. Or not cold. I had an upper respiratory infection for the past like 2 weeks, so I've been kind of dealing with that. So I apologize in advance if my voice sounds a little bit groggy. Anyways, there's a shop here. They talk in emojis, gender, stars. You are Hylian, no? I speak a little Hylian. You understand me? See when something you want, pick with a... Yeah, right here it says you got bombs, you got arrows, you got lantern oil, blue potion, red potion. I never really looked into the detail of this, but I don't understand a blue potion. Like, I think a blue potion just heals you completely in this game. In the other Zelda games, they not only heal you completely, but they also refill your magic meter. Well, in this game, we don't have a magic meter, so it's kind of like nerfed a little bit. But if we come over here and talk to this Uku... Oh, sorry for earlier, adventure. Oh, but you're planning on walking around the city and taking it in, right? I'm worried about the others, and this is an emergency. I can't just stand around waiting. Please take me too. I won't help you warp to the surface, but I will bring you back to the shop anytime. Uka is now with you. She's a reliable Uka friend. Pretty much, for this dungeon in particular, Uku will automatically warp you instead of the entrance to the dungeon, because this dungeon really doesn't have an entrance. She'll warp you to to the shop right here. So just keep that in mind whenever you're trying to use her. Actually, in my practice run, I used her a couple of times. First time in a long time I used Uku. So she's kind of convenient in this dungeon. Yeah, we got wind, kind of bothersome. It's only on the outsides that we should really worry about the wind too much. And pretty much now all we have to do is go up north. And we activate this cutscene here. The city in the sky. But, as you guys can see, the door is kind of grated off a little bit. If we look up here with our bow, there is a switch right here. So let's go ahead and hit it. There we go. Now we can go on the innards of the city. Now in this room, this is going to be a mechanic where you use quite a bit in this dungeon. You might see that the tile floors are different colors. The gray ones are fine. You can stand on these. But the blue ones, as soon as you stand on them, they'll start to crumble a little bit. So keep that in mind. Don't stand on the blue ones very long because you'll fall. Now, claw shot is kind of required a lot in this dungeon. You're going to be using it to grab a bunch of this ivy poles and whatnot. Also, you'll see all these Uku right here. You'll actually use them just like the cuckoos. Kind of fly around a lot. You're going to be doing that quite a bit in this dungeon too. But we got Helmosaurus here, and just got to get rid of them. But pretty much that's that in this dungeon. Let's go ahead and get up here on this pillar right here. We're going to go ahead and do that. Another thing with the claw shot you need to know. You can grab Uku that are climbing the walls right here with your claw shot and bring them to you. And we're just going to go ahead and use this Uku to fly around. And I'm going to get rid of this Helmosaurus, because Helmosaurus are annoying creatures. Alright, we're going to go straight into the next room. Now, this room is kind of the central hub of the city in the sky. The reason why is that it connects most of the rooms of the dungeon here. You might not notice it, but... Oh, we got a new enemy. This is a regular adult Helmosaurus. He's... you can't really grab his armor like the baby versions. But you can use the back slice on him and it pretty much kills him in one hit. Or just jump strike his back. Or jump strike his back and then you'll be fine. But as you guys can see, there's like 4 major entrances that we need to go through. And also there's also a room right above us that connects to this room too. But if we go and look into this room, you'll notice something. There's a bunch of like rotating pillars right here, but we cannot do anything about that just yet. I just wanted to show it off. If you try coming into this room later, you'll notice that you got a roadblock right there. The pillars, or the fan rotators, that's the word I'm looking for. The rotators We need a special item in order to even use them. The other way we can go is go through here. Because the other way we can't even reach because it's separated by a pit. And we don't have long enough claw shot to reach it. But if you come over here, you'll notice that there's stairs here and a giant gap. But if you come over here, you'll be greeted with a Venom Dekubaba. There's going to be plenty of those guys around this dungeon. And another one. But let's get our spinner out, because we actually need to use the spinner for once. On this part right here, let's go ahead and use the spinner. Extend the bridge. There we go. So we extended the bridge. But if we come over here and do that, we go across the bridge, we're like, okay, so now we can go over here. We got Kagarogs, coming over here trying to ruin my day. Just go ahead and go snipe them out of existence here. And I'm about ready to fall off the freaking bridge. Oh gosh. Damn wind. But yeah, you guys will see that the door is locked. We need a key. Well, this is where it gets a little bit confusing. You have to go and look around a little bit in the hub area to kind of find another entrance that we can go in order to get a key, because we're going to need a key. But yeah, if you come over here, we can't go that way because it's blocked off by rotators, and we can't reach this claw shot point. We can reach this one, but there's nothing underneath our feet, so it doesn't no good. So we can't even reach that other area. But there's one more thing that you can look up, and you guys might have saw it whenever I was looking around the camera. There is a spot right here where we can claw shot in this window, and it has a hole in it. If we go through here, that's actually a door. And if we come right back down here, there's another spinner. Extending bridges. That's all the spinner's used for. Alright, so now we can claw shot right here on this ivy and climb up this ivy. But this is actually the door that leads back to the room where we couldn't reach it before because of the gap on the floor. This is actually where we go. So that was like a secret way of getting to this area. So we're going to go through this door. And we got another, like, housing development area of the city that we're investigating. Going to get a grand scenic tour of the city. But this room, we have a couple places where we can actually try to claw shot. I'm going to go ahead and claw shot right there. Because there's a treasure chest right here. If we open her up, it's got a small key. So now we can actually backtrack to that one room where the key was needed. You can claw shot on these little metal grates right here. I'm kind of clipping right through it right now, but you guys can actually clip onto it. And you guys will see a bunch of stuff down here where, well, there's claw shot points. Well, we can't do that just yet. We have to have a certain item in order to do it. So, ignore it for right now. Because our claw shot, we only got one. We can't, move from that one with just one claw shot. But we're going to backtrack a little bit and go back into that room that we tried to go through. As soon as you leave with the key in tow, darn old dragon come over and break up the bridge you just made. That wasn't very nice of him. Now he's just making everything freaking inconvenient, you know? Now, if you want to go back, unfortunately you won't be able to. Not for right now, because you got a bunch of P hats right here. And you can only move, you can only hang on to one. They're not moving, so it's just like you can't really do anything about it just yet. It seems like most of the areas are blocked off here with it, unless we get a way to become, Spider-Man or something like that. So we're going to go ahead and claw shot this ivy. I'm going to move around so that way I don't fall down. There we go. Alright, so now we're going to backtrack to this room over here. Now that we have a key, we can actually go through the door. Now that we have a key. I think this is like one of maybe 2 keys in the entire dungeon. They don't use small keys very much in this dungeon. Now the wind kept blowing me around. I know I could use the iron boots, but I don't want to be slow. Alright, this room is going to be a little interesting. It's got blowers all over the place, fans and stuff like that. So, one thing in particular you might need for this room is your iron boots. But you need to come around this side right here, and you'll notice there's a Helmosaurus over here trying to think he's all tough, and he's really not. But there's one thing in particular you'll notice. It took me a while, my first playthrough, to see this. But there is a switch right here. You want to hit that switch first. That causes that fan to stop moving. And that's a good thing, because, well, we weren't going to go anywhere with that fan running. You'll see why. See what you got? You have your iron boots here. Well, you're not moving very fast. That Helmosaurus is going to go flying off the edge there. But when you got the iron boots, you aren't moving very fast. And as you guys can see, there are blue tiles right there. So that means we got to get off of those in order to even, before they fall down, we fall down. But anyways, the iron boots won't let us do that. That's why we use the claw shot to get over here. Unfortunately, as you guys can see, that fan was blowing right there, and there's blue tiles right there. If we didn't hit that switch, we would be falling down. But before we go in there, let's come in here. There's an item in here we might need to grab. I actually missed this in my practice file too. It's the dungeon map. So now you can actually see the whole entirety of the dungeon now. This dungeon's really kind of lengthy. It's got 3 bottom floors and a 5th floor. It's really big. It's a really big dungeon. It's actually, I think, honestly, one of the bigger dungeons in the game, honestly. But yeah, that's all that's in here. There's a bunch of rupees, too. We're going to be coming back to this, center room later in the dungeon. I say later, and it won't be that much later. Alright, so if we come in here, we can actually go through this door. And inside here, we're going to have our Gale Boomerang equipped. Because we're going to be seeing an enemy we haven't seen since the very first dungeon in the game. Yeah, we're going to be seeing that enemy. So we're going to jump across these little platforms here. We'll wait until the wind, stops blowing and then move across there. But yeah, these guys. We haven't seen these guys since the Forest Temple. So use your big Gale Boomerang to get rid of them. He'll fall right off. Now, we're going to jump across this scaffold right here. And there's another one of these guys. Go ahead and just blow him to smithereens. Most of the time they fall right off, but if they land on here, just go ahead and kill them. I'm going to fall down. Get off. No. I was going to fall down. I'm not going to fall down today. Let me come over here and grab this treasure chest. Inside's 10 rupees, nothing too big, nothing too shabby. But, you know, it's always good to have rupees, I guess. If you need money for your magic armor. Let me go ahead and jump across this chasm here. And yet there's another one of these dudes. Let's go ahead and get rid of him. And down he goes. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was weird. Why was I locking on to him? He should have been dead. I guess he didn't despawn yet. That was kind of a weird glitch. Oh my gosh. As soon as we come in here, door's locked. We got 2 Dynafools, armored Dynafools here. We gotta take care of them first. This is gonna be the hard part here. I hate fighting these dudes. Well, except whenever, you know, one of them is being cooperative. Ow. Don't make me fall down, please. Oh, Splitter. Down you go. You get the easy kills. That unlocked a new part of the area of this room here. Now, we're not done with this room just yet, as you guys can see. If we jump on this middle platform and use our claw shot, and grab this ivy up here. We're just going to climb our way up here, and there's a bunch of ukus. Now, there's a chandelier right there, and we can actually, if we remember from like the Lake Bed Temple, we can grab these chandeliers with our claw shot, and that activates like a, you know, a switch. Causes a wind vortex to appear. I'm gonna grab this uku and wait until it appears. We're gonna jump off and fly, because you know this game doesn't have Deku Leaf like Wind Waker. There we go. And now we can access the upper portion of this room. Now, in this room, we gotta do a lot of flying. Now, there's something that bothers me about this room, and I might not be able to get it in this playthrough, unfortunately. But there's a treasure chest in this room, and I cannot find it. And I know it's a small treasure chest. It has nothing really in it. But it's on the sidings of this wall right here. And I don't know how to get it. You know, if comment section wanted to tell me how to get that treasure chest, feel free to. Because I cannot for the life of me get that treasure chest. Okay, so that was kind of a bad uku flying session there. Okay. So, oh wait, I just now realized that I might be able to get this treasure chest. I just now saw the switch. There it is. Ha ha ha! Oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. I didn't even see that switch. Oh my gosh. But let me try to get it. I knew it was a small treasure chest anyways, but you know, now I'll be able to finish it. I don't even say I don't even know it, because I wasn't even paying attention to that darn switch. I'm gonna wait until the wind vortex appears again. Okay, Uku. How can you hold me? How can you hold me while I'm flying here? There we go. I knew it was nothing big. It was just 20 rupees. But you know what? I usually want to clear out a dungeon with all its treasure chests. I always like doing that, so because I don't want to have any reason to backtrack in a dungeon. So it's nice to actually have that treasure chest off my OCD about getting all the treasure chests in the dungeon. But we're gonna be flying across this chasm here. I'm gonna try to, you know, keep flying over here, because there's a treasure chest right here. It's a big treasure chest, so you know it has something good in it. Inside's purple rupee. That isn't really that great, but yeah, I mean, it's more money, so I'm not going to complain too much about it. Alright, so I might need to use a claw shot over here. And then I'm going to use the claw shot to grab Uku. Okay. Now I'm going to get on this wind vortex to go inside this room. And there's another switch right here. I can see that switch, but I can't see the other freaking switch that was in this room earlier. Oh my gosh. Like, literally, every time I played through that dungeon, that treasure chest was always the one that I couldn't figure out how to get. I don't know why. But yet, I figured it out on my Let's Play. Good thing I did, because it was driving me nuts. Come here, Uku. Nope, nope, no, 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 no. Alright, so I need to grab Uku again. We're gonna fly on the other side of the room. I'll wait until that wind vortex appears again. I know, with annoying clucks of Uku, like, it's just lovely, isn't it? He's just like, we're gonna fly into this room right here. Okay, and then finally leave. Now this room is kind of a big, just a big old drop. That's pretty much all I can really say. We gotta go all the way down to the third bottom floor here from here. We're gonna grab Uku and make our way slowly down to the third bottom floor. Be careful, like I said, there's a bunch of pits here in this room, and there's a bunch of wind turbines that are gonna blow you out of the city. So if you grab Uku and you start flying and the wind catches you, you're gonna be blown out of the city. And that's going to void you out, and you'll have to redo the room again. Kind of like this. I almost voided out in here. And I'm just going to gradually... Yep, I'm going to void out. Yep, exactly. See? That's what I'm talking about. If the wind catches you, you void out, and you lose a little piece of your heart. So, just be careful just coming down here. And then, all the enemies reset too. So, that's another bad thing about it. Okay. So I gotta be careful. Okay. I'm gonna slowly get down. It's hard to turn with Uku. And don't get caught in the wind, don't get caught in the wind, don't get caught in the wind. Yeah. Okay. Get rid of Deku Baba. Go away, Deku Baba. No one likes your face. Okay, so I'm trying to find where... Okay, it's right underneath me, so... Okay, gotta slowly make my descent down. Oh, gosh. Oh, that Keys is trying so hard to catch me. Alright, so now we got down to the bottom floor here. Come in here, and the door locks behind us. And there's a wind fan right here, but there's also a switch right here. But it's too big, so we're gonna have to make ourselves heavy in order to even activate the switch. So put on your iron boots, and that turns off the fan. We can actually lower ourselves with a claw shot down to the bottom floor here. Those annoying freaking boots. But here is our mini boss of the dungeon. Probably one of the worst enemies. Well, I wouldn't say the worst. They're not that hard. These are aerial foals. The flying variants of the Dinophos and Lizalfos family. Let's take off our iron boots. Now, this guy's weakness is the claw shot. You have to sit here and wait until he charges up his attack with a shield, and he has his shield ready. Then you use the claw shot to pull him towards you. And then you're just going to have to fight him on the ground until, you know, he's ready to start flying again. He's very susceptible to your, you know, back slice if you do it while he's attacking you and just miss and dodge his attacks with a parry. But as soon as you do that, you come over here and you start grabbing him again. That's only phase 1. Phase 2, he's gonna go outside the room here, and he's gonna fly around and wait until he comes up behind you and starts his charging attack again. You just have to grab him real quick, watch around with the camera, and then you'll be able to defeat him. And just be very mindful of how you attack him. He's gonna go back around here and just keep an eye out on the entrances. Where'd he go? I thought I saw him come in here. There he is. Oh gosh, he was right behind me. See, that's what I'm talking about. He's very crafty. Alright, so now he's coming back here. Come over here. Now let's just beat him up. And with that, we defeated the aerial foals. Alright, so now we can actually go and get inside and get that treasure chest. And this treasure chest has our dungeon item in it. You got another claw shot combined with the one you already have, and they're called the double claw shots. Hold them with Y, X, or R, aim with the left stick or the Wii U gamepad, and release the button to fire, while you're hanging on to another spot to fire again. So we are officially Spider-Link. We can now play Spider-Man with the claw shots. So essentially, if you grab a spot with the claw shot, from the position you're hanging from, you can shoot to another location with the claw shot. So now we got 2 of them. We can kind of just, swing around wherever we want to, essentially. Now, it isn't like a web sling like Spider-Man, but you get the point. Why are those things so glitchy? Every time I try to grab those ivies, they do that. I guess I'm just not grabbing it in the right hitbox like the game wants me to. But essentially, how to get out of this room, you have to grab these claw shot points right here, lower ourselves, move around, grab this other spot right here, lower ourselves, turn around, and then grab this ivy that's hanging up here where the fan was. Okay, there we go. Now we just gotta climb ourselves out. Now with the double claw shots, we'll be able to climb ourselves out of this pit that we just put ourselves in.